the mid solo. Yeah, because I'm like, okay, you get Chen and Prophet to push together, that's great. You get some good survivability coming out from these guys, also great. You're already talking about the survivability once SD puts someone into side of disruption. What I'm fearful of for ROX.KIS is the fact that they just lose Chen and SD over and over and over again in the early game. Because if this is an aggro tri-lane from Alliance, Chen and SD are going to have to be a presence on that top lane. And if it's just SD, it won't be enough. There'll be no one to take the nightmare off. Having a Chen creep in the neighborhood in the early stages isn't really going to happen. I love both of these last bands out there. So if it was Slaughter, for ROX.KIS, Alliance have trouble coming in close and dishing out the damage. If it was Storm Spirit over on ROX.KIS, ROX.KIS would have the major concern that Nature's Prophet couldn't go anywhere on the map. Second Ember Spirit jumped out in the map, Storm Spirit will control him, Clockwork will follow up, control him, and then the possibility of a Fiend Script also coming out is just too much of a risk. I think both lineups definitely have a lot of potential, but there's definitely a lot of risk behind ROX.KIS's lineup again, where I feel Alliance, it really looks stable for them. And we get Lifestealer and Bane, in fact, coming up right now. So there's your aggro tri-lane. This is going to push either Admiral Bulldog into the off lane with the Mirana and an S4 Clockwork, which we haven't seen in a while, or they just switch their roles at the mid and the bottom lane, and that's a load of Lifestealer with a Bane, the Tree Protector.
Yeah, most likely than not, of course.
10 seconds remaining.
Part of me feels like I might be overlooking the Treant potential, or the Treant factor, really, when I say this, but I'm gonna jump on the other side of the fence and really say that I really feel like ROX.KIS's lineup is better crafted here. And I'm gonna just present the other side of the argument because I feel like, well, for one, the Storm Spirit ban, you don't want a Spirit going up against another Spirit at the mid lane. That would be disastrous. But really, the other story is that Alliance, that their counter push is really lacking, especially with those last two picks. Personally, in my preference, I would have opted for the Timbersaw against a lineup like ROX.KIS over the Clockwork, because once again, the Clockwork provides a lot of control, especially against single targets like Shadow Demon and Nature's Prophet. But so long as the positioning's there are units to prevent the range, the reach, and the initiation coming out of just the hook shot, and Shadow Demon in place to allow that disruption and that buffer time, as you would say. Then I really do feel like Alliance are banking a lot single target focus and taking down targets. What do you do when your opposition is looking to try and fight the same way they did the last game, or the same way you did last game? You pick one of the most elusive heroes on the map that can dish out similar amounts of damage in the early game. It's called the Slark, Toby.
Yeah, it's a perfect pick up here on the last point, man. Quickly, for people out there, I'm going to restart the live stream. Thanks very much to a guy called Envy or Master Kit, who sent me a message saying that the live stream doesn't have as multiple options. I think when we dropped and came back up again in that short period, it's locked it to basically HD. So I'm going to drop the live stream quickly and then bring it back up again. I suggest you hit F5 on your Windows. It's going to refresh your live stream up. For people on the VOD, you will have whatsoever. For people on the live stream, hit F5. It'll reconnect you to an ingest server, and we should be good to go. So yeah. We dropped the live stream right now. People inside Dota TV have no problems whatsoever. So, yeah. We should be back up again and running. And hopefully everyone's going to have their qualities back the way they were looking for them before.
For battle.
So, how are we looking for our lanes? Admiral Bulldog off lane. It's going to be S4 mid, and then defensive tri-lane from Alliance. I feel like they could have really gone the aggro with their lineup, but I got a funny feeling that this Slark has made them think twice about it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Not only that, but we have to really remember the power of the Chen SD combo. We know for a time that dominated the entire metagame. If you let the enemy team get those two heroes, I know the game's progressed a lot since then, but it almost spelled an instant loss because of their mobility in the early game stages. And the fact that even if you had vision, the smoke gank just allowed them to guarantee every kill that they'd gone on with the Shadow Demon setup as well as the Chen follow-up, with the massive damage from range heroes and range supports and all these other things. So no real surprises for me personally. I feel like if you aggressive Charlie, they would have really been an overcommitment that would have allowed you to stay in the game if you get kills, or immediately lost if you lost the Charlie.
I'm still checking on our live stream problems. Gotta make sure we're back up and running again.
Interesting. So Loda's poised himself at the mid lane now, and Bulldog's going to the off lane. I guess it's somewhat expected, but I actually didn't see it coming out like this. I guess
to actually switch to a dual lane.
Yeah, this is probably a lane counter thing. It's like putting up a lifestealer against a Pudge or something like that. It's not a fun matchup for a Pudge. And Ember Spirit can do a lot better because he's Ember Spirit. He has the spells to mitigate damage as well as the Flame Guard that can dish out the damage. It won't block Magical from Lifestealer because tada, Magical doesn't come out from Lifestealer, but it'll certainly help him kind of keep things at bay.
Seems our live stream didn't come back up again in time, so I'm gonna just do another quick restart on our live stream to try and get that quality back again. I don't know why I didn't jump into the ingest again. Either way.
Solo's taking a ridiculous amount of damage here at the mid lane. Loda basically got 3 right clicks on him, where Solo was lingering around back and forth, and
ooh, top lane. Cedo's in a lot of trouble right now. Nightmare setup, and this is the problem we're talking about. Luckily for him, he still had a tree in here, which could take away the Nightmare, but with Leech Seed, you just can't walk away fast enough. It's such a brutal lane to try and win up against.
It's a one-hit combo.
Yeah.
And as you said, there's no roundabout methods, especially for the Nature's Prophet, who's probably the most susceptible, barring the Ember Spirit, from all the disables that are coming out here. 0 mechanisms to help you stay alive once the arrow connects, and of course, before it connects, he can do everything that he's demonstrated, which is use the treants to block as well as take off the Nightmare. But yeah, with Leech Seed follow-up, Prophet is pretty much a sitting duck.
Admiral Bulldog might be in a little bit of trouble too. There's the downside about having this kind of off-lane style hero, and you see what he's trying to do. Cog it up, run to the other side. Unfortunately for him, he can't get himself a path to freedom. Disruption will be there, the Centaur follow-up stun, and then Slark just into a Dark Pact, and the leash holds Admiral Bulldog in position. Chen will take the last hit in this one, while meanwhile in the middle lane, Solo being initiated on 2. EGM with a Nightmare just holds him there long enough for Loda to get the last of the poor swipe in. Kills on bottom, kills on mid, and for those people out there, the live stream is back up and running again 100% smoothly. If you did miss any of the action, we'll be uploading the VODs later on to the Dailymotion channel as well as our YouTube channel, youtube.com/join Dota. And hopefully we do have all of our low quality options back again for your viewing pleasure. My apologies for the error, but I try and fix it as quickly as I can.
Thank you, base Toby. Now top lane, Cedoy does not see this one coming because Vayne at level 3 has picked up an Invis rune, and boom, there is the combo.
They don't have the brain sap, and they're still a little bit too far away for the Leech Seed, but the range damage is enough. Okay, we'll tank up the tower a little bit too much, but it's okay.
This is the worst. Do you see that? Cedo actually mismade the treants because they're stuck inside the trees, so he can't hold this creep wave away from the tower. Look at what Alliance is doing. Not only did they get the kill, they're denying like 3 creep waves worth of experience right now. Cedo is going to be very unhappy with this. He better take his talents to the jungle because he's not going to get much out of this at this point.
Yeah, if he keeps going up to that top lane, he may as well die. But if he goes to his own jungle, you see the rotations coming out already. Arcade, they're going to go top lane. Lead seated up, point blank range arrow. There's not a single point in Starfall here for S4. He's got 2 points arrow, he's got 1 point up on the leap, and he's got an unspent talent point right now. But EGM is causing some issues for Goldblack. He's rotated himself down the bottom lane, and he's quite willingly showing himself here because he wants ROX.KIS to be looking behind. Wants it to commit extra supports. Now, EGM's gonna have trouble though, because disruption. It's only a Hellbear Clamper though, but with Solo rotating in, EGM's got no other choice but to run towards the high ground. And, well, actually, he may escape from this one. Support's coming in, Clockwork with the cogs, trying to keep Slark away. Hits the battery assault. Nightmares over the Slark, but Slark very wisely dark pacting just before EGM was going to cast off the Nightmare. So he breaks free, leeches him up, and gets the kill on the bottom lane.
I think that's one of those things where I could say, yeah, EGM actually died, and Admiral Bulldog tried to pay attention as well. But quote-unquote space made, because honestly, they committed a lot of heroes and a lot of extra time for that Bane kill, and I feel like what EGM did there was actually worth it in the long run. Him giving his life up to invest or waste the time of so many heroes in the early game right now, it's so worth it. And now Cedoy at the top lane, I keep almost calling him Cedoy, but it's because his name down again.
Yeah, he's screwed up with his name. With the brain sap, the leech seed, who cares about tier 1 towers when you have a living armor? Mirana gets another kill while middle lane Loda raged up and beating inside the Solo. And to let off the chains, just slowing down Loda's chase. But one thing we haven't seen at all, man, Goldblack, I think it's been carrying the smoke around from like the first time they walked out of base. But when was the last time you saw a Goldblack smoke gank?
This game, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
While
mid lane,
in middle lane, EGM's on the way in. He's level 3 and Loda wants to start fighting up. But he's got Infest available, so with Chen bringing the army in, he needs to be out of Infest, and now pops out. Rage is still available too. 1-1 charge and phase boots are in here. So there's your Rage. Rose up towards the high ground. The nice troll trap holds him there too, and Seedoy TP's in towards the middle lane. EGM is the living armor. Maybe that would have been a little bit more helpful over on Loda. Either way, Solo will be sent back to base. He's got a spirit to leave. Nope. He just has to go back to base to heal up and come back out again later the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, I feel like Alliance certainly didn't play that the best way they could have. As you said, with the living armor, that could have been a nice addition to Loda, but also I feel like Loda had a better option to infest. Although it was a high panic situation, so I feel like he kind of went for the best option available to him, or what seemed to be. But he could have survived if he played really, really amazing. Unfortunately, he did get caught out, and now Solo, speaking of getting caught out, might get caught out.
Again? Again? There's another place for a fight. One last hit from Loda. That image was just a little bit too far away.
He didn't have mana actually. It was with a 150 cost, so he casted the illusion for that because illusion is free, but he couldn't cast the activation aspect because he was only at 114 mana. So missing a little bit, and he tried to bottle up in between the attack sequences, but when you got a life stealer with all his attack speed and a priestess of the moon hammering away at you, it's very difficult to bottle up. But nicely, he comes back to the top lane now because he had the illusion. I hope he doesn't die again, though.
He'll have enough confidence to kill off S4. Able to jump up, get the chain, but living armor also protects S4. Leap up, under range of the tower, now in with the lead seat. Solo, slow yourself down. Arca doesn't have an ultimate, but with the stun out from the arrow, S4, he plays it beautifully. Moves up into the fog of war, throws the arrow out, and Ember Spirit finds himself completely overcommitting up on the top lane.
Yeah, I was really, really hoping that he wouldn't die again, and part of the reason I felt that he would try to get us aggressive on S4. Once again, S4 is an extremely cerebral player. Like he likes to take into calculations every little bit, and if he can bait you out with 200 HP, he will try to do so, whether it gets him killed or not. So I feel like, yeah, I feel like Alliance is better of Solo right now.
Admiral Bulldog said, Prophet's TPing in, and they're going to transition this into killing off the tower. Admiral Bulldog getting Chen nukes, Dark Pack, TP comes in from S4. He sees a potential kill over on Yol. The downside is with his jump in, he's in the middle of 4 heroes and all by himself. Slark was searching for a follow-up, but he came in with basically no mana whatsoever. While EGM, solo kill. Nightmare. Brain sap, he'll use 1 charge. It's not 2 points going to be really enough to kill off. Yes, it is. Why did I ever doubt him? Solo kills the Ember Spirit. For his enough mana for an arrow. He might get hit on BZZ. With a TP coming in, he's looking for the opening. Attempted to deny the tower, gonna fail. There's a quick point blank jump in. The arrow actually flies through him this time. The Colt's pushing BZZ back, buying the space for S4 to live on 55 life points.
Honestly, it's very hard to distinguish exactly where a Slark is with the Shadow Dance, especially when you're just looking at the AoE of it, not exactly the minimap pinpoint. But that kind of looked funny because I guess the Slark had an opportunity to go for the kill after the arrow missed, but then Bulldog dropped a really nice cogs and pushed out a couple critical targets, so S4 was able to survive, and now Solo on the other end almost got gripped and now gets cancelled. No, never mind. It just didn't get cast.
Just run away, people. Just run away. Disruption, Centaur, Troll. Well, Bane, he's going to brain zap out Goldblack right now and keep away from... Actually, the Centaur has no mana. It couldn't go for a stun.
That was really interesting, though. I think that's the first time I've seen a Bane go into pretty much the end tail animation.
S4, point blank range arrow over there on Seedoy. The kill will go to the Mirana. But yeah, sorry, back to what you're saying with Bane.
Oh yeah, it's just the first time I've seen Bane actually go into pretty much full animation, and then it get cancelled not on his own, or rather on his own instead of somebody else. Like it's just like it did the full animation. He lifted his hands in the air, and then you thought the Beansword was going down, but Solo actually managed to cancel it twice because he used the Fire Remnant to get into his invisibility frames.
There may have also been another call saying, "Save it, save it, save it! We want to kill this bottom lane." They could do that. Hook shot in, Fiend's Grip, if he can reach him. The Dark Pack's already gone, so they have to wait for it to go. And now if they want to, they need vision. They need vision. EGM's going to try and keep up, and he gets the vision. The help is trying to come in there from Seedoy, but it will not reach in time. Hand of God, Admiral Bulldog needs a little bit more damage. They just didn't have it. He'll live and he'll back up, and because of that heal, he'll come back into the fight full life.
you know, all of these things just seems like ROX.KIS getting pushed up into a very uncomfortable position and then somehow managing to pull through, whether by staying
Radiant's
alive
top tower is under attack.
or just extending the
Radiant
duration of
structures
staying
are
alive, which means that inevitably they die. For example, like Solo just seems to hold off his deaths a lot. Now he gets the top rune, so probably gonna be okay, but S4 is rotating.
no.
If he gets the big arrow here,
Wait for it, man. He's going to look for it. He needs where Solo's moving before he can throw the arrow out. Well, the Nightmare, that'll also be another great setup. So that's a 4-second, maybe even a 5-second stun on that one. And the Bane will end up pulling the kill out. That means Arcane Boots now coming up for the Bane, who seems to be throwing out so much mana it ain't funny. So he's definitely going to need that. There's also a tier 1 tower on the top lane with no defense, and S4 moves in for it.
Dire's middle tower is
once
under
again,
attack.
I kind of find it odd how
fallen.
every single one of these skirmishes just ends up in ROX.KIS losing out one way or another. Like, it was nice that the Chen heal came in at the bottom lane at a critical time and saved their carry, but at the same time, they're really not gaining anything out of this. And once again, Alliance's lineup, it's not that good at stopping pushes, but when you win the lanes in such handy fashion, it's so hard to push, especially because the Chen just hasn't been having much game impact with regards to creep presence, and the Shadow Demon certainly not having too much game impact when it comes to moving around the map and securing kills per se. Yep, it's gonna get rough. Like, these heroes are slowly getting outscaled by Alliance's heroes, and I feel like they have to feel hard pressed to do something right now. Now, Bulldog misses an attempt on the hookshot, but it's okay because they still maintain the presence at the lane and can probably push it down when they choose to do so, because S4 is free farming on the safe lane and holding that to his own. So yeah, Solo's trying to contest it right now, but he knows after dying twice like that earlier, he's not going to try to fight S4 anymore.
Yeah, don't be that crazy, man.
Oh, arrowed right in the face. That's a 5-second arrow, and that's a death on Solo. Solo getting solo killed yet again.
How did he hit that? On an Ember Spirit, like... How did he even connect
Dire's
on that?
bottom tower
Middle
is
lane's in
under
trouble
attack.
too with Yol. Actually, no, he's doing the wise thing. He's moving down south. So EGM is coming closer. They're going to purge. They're going to catch her. They're going to disrupt. We got Centaur, Satyr as well as the Troll. EGM, Nightmares, hoping to deny himself a quick brain sap and then moves up with his charges. Hoping to get himself away. He did a pretty damn good job to make him work for it.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed. Like, the spell sequence that he used there was extremely experienced and very well done. Like, I mean, there was no way he was going to survive that, but he did every damn thing.
Ooh, Admiral Bulldog. He almost forced him into the arrow. The leap down with the DD rune on S4. If that arrow connected, we'll be looking at a very dead BZZ. Meanwhile, Disruption, they're going to use Moonlight Shadow, hook shot away to safety, and then back into the invis.
He just casted that too. Oh, Alliance putting out some very high skill plays,
Radiant's
some
bottom
fantastic
tower
demonstration
is
of
under
their
attack.
understanding as well as their experience.
Hilarious thing is they're showing it as they're trying to escape out of overextending.
Yeah. That's right.
I'm not going to say it's the cleanest game in the world for them. But when you're 11 for 5 up, your experience has started to plateau a little bit, just below 4,000 advantage to Alliance. And the gold still has your advantage too, but obviously you are actually not even a tower up. Arcane, trouble, arrows flying in, and with the oldie from Arcane, they held the ult there. He needs a leap seed, so he'll stay alive through all of this damage as well. A quick disruption from the SD will keep himself alive for the moment, but with EGM in the neighborhood, he doesn't have brain sap, he's got Fiend's Grip, which now he's going to use over on BZZ. S4, he's finished with the upper lane, comes back in again with a good arrow, picking up BZZ. Goldberg able to come in with his own nuke, getting a bit of a revenge kill over on the Bane. Centaur Stomps holding S4 there, but Admiral Bulldog, this battery assault's really causing a problem for Goldblack. Jumping down, there's not enough mana for S4 to go into a Starfall. Now he has it, but Admiral Bulldog comes back out with a rocket, finishes the job, and all of ROX.KIS end up dying during that engagement. Not a single one lived.
Unfortunately for them, complete team wipe, and they still have no tower presence because all they have secured is the tower on the safe lane, which kind of came passively to them as Admiral Bulldog began his rotations around the map. But it's not nearly enough to make up for the disadvantages that they have accumulated up to this point. Once again, the Chen as well as the Shadow Demon, we saw a decent display of what their teamfight capabilities are in that fight, but they were just so scattered around that nobody really in proximity to make use of each other's abilities in time. So Alliance took complete advantage by isolating their targets, allowed the Priestess to get like 3 arrows in that sequence. And speaking of arrows, Solo gets arrowed in the face yet again, falls for how many times
That's
this game?
too many. That wasn't even where the fight was meant to begin. It's in the middle lane where Clockwork is now battling up against BZZ. The Disruption will try and save him because he feels the Fiend's Grip is coming, but there's still a level 4 brain sip of Fable, and Slug, well, jumps like the Shadow Dance trying to beat on top of Arcane. But RK, living armor, protects himself. In the meantime, too, Arrow Bulldog caught shots in absolutely perfectly. The Arrow will pick up SD inside the tree line, and they might be looking for Cedo. Nope, he's backing up. Alliance are hitting their disables perfectly, and that movement as well, bringing Loader and S4 in behind the lines. Yeah, they couldn't have coordinated any better.
Middle tower is under attack.
Toby, I think it's one of those rare cases, but I really feel like right now Alliance is completely outplaying ROX.KIS. Once again, I feel like the draft was crafted to allow more pushes as well as more skirmishes, engagements that could have been more drawn out and possibly go both ways. But as it stands right now, Alliance's heroes are so farmed to the point where they can sort of go for any sorts of plays, and when you have something like a 4 or 5 second arrow connect to one of your most important heroes every single time before an engagement breaks out, then the result is that you have a 2-8 Ember Spirit in 15 minutes with no farm to his name. This is really, really difficult for them right now, and GoBlack invests, I believe that's the first smoke that he's used this game. Three heroes.
It's the first one I've seen, man.
Yeah, 3 heroes.
They're gonna fight. They're jumping on Admiral Bulldog, but he's got Blade Mail up and running. They don't want to start beating on top of him yet. And then the Cogs, perfect position. It's actually locked ROX.KIS inside their own jungle, while Bane's having a party up here on the top lane. The Earth's in fact gonna tick out Cedo in this one. The ulti from Arcade, combining now up with the lead seed. Alliance, they do lose Marana in this one, but then at the same time, Solo, Loader, he's trying to armor toggle through this. Cedo, in fact, will live on 18 life points, TPing himself out. Again, no, Admiral Bulldog now is a little bit too close. The Blade Mail trying to get some revenge kills. For some reason, EGM's are more damage during this fight than anyone else from Alliance. He'll pick up a double kill here. GoBlack still fighting it out. EGM, Nightmare will help set him up for Solo. Brain Sap level 4 also available. They use the Chain Creep to take it off. Then into the Quick Stun. Brain Sap down to 30 life points. He doesn't have an earned charge, but he just does it the old-fashioned way. Walks in close. RK was there to say hello to, but it's a triple kill for EGM. He was sitting up here, controlling the entire engagement while the rest of his teammates were dying.
Yeah, the funniest thing of that is, as soon as Aki dropped that monster chain protector ultimate on 3 clustered targets, S4, he left it right in the middle of everything, and then he popped. He got 100-0 so fast. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Cedo, he's going to try and battle this one up. EGM, he's got, well, Enfeeble to try and slow down the damage. It's still a central Clockwork. Hooks in. RK will live for the moment. They don't have detection on him. He's using his nature's guise to stay invis for the moment. Towards the high ground, the Dark Pack, BCZ. Right. He couldn't see him, but he had a gander, he had a guess, and he got it right. There was no detection. I'm not like going loopy. They never triggered dust, they never triggered anything else off. That was just good play, right?
Yeah, for sure. It was just really nicely done. And honestly, ROX.KIS are beginning to slowly demonstrate that their team fight, as well as their team composition, are certainly very, very capable of turning things around. Now, Bulldog does get caught out this time. There is a combo coming out of ROX.KIS, and looks like he will fall, but the Blade Mail keeps him alive for a little bit longer.
It makes it very difficult to instantly pop him. The Poison's doing a really good job, while BCZ is trying to stay close enough. In comes Loader, open with, and they commit the Fiend's Grip. So there was no way to get out of that one. The Clockwork, he's got living armor. He might have himself 4 poison stacks on him. Let's make that 5 poison stacks! Shadow never kills himself off the back of that in Solo. Well, there's a jump up to high ground. Loader's trying to stay with him with a troll trap from GoBlack. He tries to hold him in position, but Loader just infest, pops back out again. Nice line points. Ember Spirit and Chen on the sidelines. And the rest of both the creep wave as well as the Chen army will be mopped up here.
Through the arrow in anticipation of where the Ember Spirit would have been if he ran straight. Now the Ember Spirit actually didn't run straight. He used the Fire Remnant to traverse himself right on top of the hill, where he would avoid the damage coming out of the Lifestealer and other melee targets. And somehow it lined up perfectly for the arrow that was supposed to miss. Got himself killed yet again, and now he's sitting at 2 and 10. This is just really unfortunate for him right now, and nothing is going well for him specifically. But at the same time, quite a lot of hilarious events going down, and very entertaining, to say the least.
I don't know if ROX.KIS are going to consider it hilarious or not.
No, unfortunately not. It's just really, like a stroke of really bad luck for them, as I see it. But as far as landing some big arrows, now ROX.KIS is trying to pursue a Bulldog for like the 5th time. If history repeats himself, we've seen this go the other way before. Yeah.
Let's just watch it. Let's just watch it. Plate Mail is up, and look at the damage BZZ does to himself. And TP support's coming back. Now BZZ just burned himself, or they cancel the TP. That was rightly so too. After he was dead, there's not much point to it. They can look at tower trades instead. With smoke going up, Fiend Script is going to be used as a brain snap into a starfall, into a... He's considering arrow. He's considering arrow, and he considers it completely incorrectly. EGM's going to brain snap him. He can't reach him. They use the Moonlight Shadow. They're going to point Solo out. Lifestealer, in fact, kills off Nature's Prophet. In the meantime, up on the top lane, of all places, Loader is fighting up there. They're still looking for EGM.
You know what? Speaking of EGM, if he doesn't get caught out here, actually, Slark has full nighttime vision. I think he might have been able to nick him, but
Slark might be in trouble himself. He's going to try and turn around for the fight. The lead seed will go, but he breaks free of it almost instantly into the Shadow Dance. And S4... How do you miss that? How do you even miss that? I don't know how you missed that, but S4 missed it. The tree ulti will go. Luckily for Solo, he was jumping up to the times. He's a little bit close towards Admiral Bulldog. The downside is the plate mail was burning him back for the moment. Then the jump through, couldn't get the combos done. While they're trying to heal up S4 so we can turn to fight. Fiend Script will go SD, Disruption being used, but at the same time as the 4-man's done, they jump in right now. EGM somehow with the Meg Charge, with the Brain Sense, he survives almost every bit of damage ROX.KIS threw his way. Cedo will die on the side, Loader's a double kill. Bane will fall during this engagement, but he tanked him up for so long. We've got open wounds and Admiral Bulldog battling up against Yol, who tries to fight his way out of the cogs. Loader is kept away from his prize kill. TP supports coming back in again. It's the Slark, a quick disruption, tries to battle. There's your blade mount. Slark drops himself down to almost no life points. Clockwork, hook shots in. They can't see him. They can't kill him. They need him to come out of this one. The Shadow Blade's protecting him for now. Sentry wards are being dropped behind the tower. So they can still see BTC fight the Dark Pact, hitting him 4 heroes. Again, S4, the arrows. He can't hit him even when he tries to pierce him point blank range. But either way, Slark will go down. The GG is called, and the comedy does stop here. It's over. It's over. There is no more to say of this best of 3 series. Alliance will qualify themselves into the quarterfinals of the playoffs with the D2CL, where we have over $120,000 worth of prize money coming.
Well, you know what they say about snipers, Toby? They're great at the long distances, but when it comes to short range, they're a little bit lacking. But once again, S4 just